YouTube, it's Lisa. Welcome back to my channel. Today I have an unboxing video. This is a planner review for 2026. I'm going to take these things off to the side, and I finally got my 2026 planner for next year. So just a bit of a recap. I had at least 4 planners, etc. for 2025. Too much. A disaster. I stayed with my book journal for the most part until September-ish, early October. No, October. And then kind of it fell apart. I was doing the Goodfellow book journal, which I actually really did enjoy it, but it became a little bit more like a job to keep track of my books that I was reading. And one of the things that I learned throughout the year is that I just need something a little bit more simpler. I had a health journal, which was in a Hobonichi Weeks, that was working for me, kind of, sort of, but kind of not. Then I moved it to the Hobonichi Techo for 2026, and it's good, but it's a little bit too much space for what I'm kind of keeping track of and monitoring. So that I'm going to stick with until the end of this year, which is 2025, December 1st. But I'm not going to move forward with a separate health tracker in 2026. And then I think I have one for work, which that one will stay. I will always have one for work. And then I still have the last of my 5-year journal for Midori. So work planners and notebooks I will definitely have, because that's just a separate beast. That's my work life versus my personal. But I'm consolidating everything in my personal life into this one planner for 2026. And I'm going to see if this is going to be the form factor that works for me. I decided to go with Vedic Chronicles planner for 2026 because it had a lot of the components of what I like to keep track of in my life, my personal life, without having to have a gazillion different planners. The question I will probably have is going forward in 2026 that I'll be paying attention is, do I like the form factor enough, but do I like the size? So without further ado, let me just get this out of the, sorry about the bumping of the camera. Got this popcorn here, which is eco-friendly, I do believe. But let me give more light into the situation. I've been trying to film in natural daylight, but my days have been kind of crazy since I've come back from all the vacation and holidays. I hope everybody in the United States had a good Thanksgiving. This is what I have for 2026. I decided to go with the TN size, and what you were looking at are all these covers that I have that can fit traveler's notebook size. I've done various reviews on some of them already, so you can just check my feed. But I'm going to move forward with, I don't have all the things that I need for this as far as what I would like to put in, but I've got the majority of things. I've got a couple of Coffee Monster Co. Tabs that I'll probably be using. They gave me some in 2026. So we have a nice yearly calendar that is embossed with the year of 2026. Very lovely. That'll be good. Then they gave me, oh, I love this, an enamel pen. Yep, that's magnetic. So that's going to be, these can be kind of tricky. The magnets hold as long as the fabric is not too thick. I don't know how strong this magnet is, but I also got to make sure I don't put it close to any kind of metal clasp. Very nice little freebies. Oh, this is really, really nice. Well packaged. I've got some, wait a second. They've got some pre-made stickers in here. And I'm just, I think they already gave me like color codes for the year. So I've got January through December, and then I've got some of these blank ones that I'm hoping that I can write on them or somehow earmark them. I've got these other letters for, says both yearly, monthly, hourly, daily, and list. So I can probably stick these on top of these and use that. So that's a very nice touch. That's great. Okay, so let's look at the actual Faded Chronicle planner, and I'm going to stick all these things back in so I don't lose track of them. Stick these to the side because I want to see what cover I want to use. And I actually know already there's one cover that I used and I forgot to grab it. So I'm going to grab it really quick. But I'm already using a TN size now for another personal journal that I was using, which is from Haugen, and it's this one. So I might be using this one as well. But I do find with the Haugen one, this one, it can kind of fall out. So you definitely have to stick the front and the back cover in. So we'll just see about that. All right, so the Faded Chronicles planner, it's 110 millimeters by 210 millimeters. It's got 52 GSM, Tomo River. It's January through December. There's a yearly calendar, a quarterly overview, a perpetual calendar, month on 2 pages, functional weekly, numbered gold grid pages, a spacing guide, a contact list, and a personal info. I am really looking forward to this. And they have trackers in this one, which is another reason why I thought I really wanted to go with this version. I'm going to just, I feel like my lighting is a little bit on the dim side. And I'm sorry I didn't get this in with more daylight, but I didn't. Okay, so get rid of the belly band. And so this is the planner. I'm glad I got this mushroomy kind of linen color. This feels really nice to the touch. I might see if I can get a plastic cover on it just so I don't damage it. And Faded Chronicles, when they were doing the pre-sale of this a few months ago, it was actually September, I went with this one. And so we've got the, let me zoom in and I'll just kind of walk you through it a little bit. So here's a look ahead of the yearly calendars. We've got 2027, 2028, 2026 has more spacing on it. Just bring that up like that. It has more spacing on it. And then if there's anything I think that's really pertinent for 2026, like your big goal or a big date that you have that you really need to flag, you can stick it down there in that grid box. Then it has this page here, which I think I might do a, what is it called? I'm drawing a blank. The picture board for the year. You know, I might do that so that I can kind of like lay out what my hopes, desires are to get accomplished with a mood board. Sorry, a mood board for 2026. And I might write down some of my big overarching goals, but they have this quarter two. Sorry, let's do this. We have quarter one, things you want to get accomplished in quarter one. You've got 3 big goals that you can kind of flesh out here. Then they've got January, February, March. Now, these are the tracking sheets that I was talking about that I'm really impressed that they actually put in here because they did some of the hard work for you. If you lay out like your reading tracker or your fitness or journaling, whatever you want to track, you have this now down here with all the days already laid out. So that really kind of, for me, this was huge. This page right here was huge because I don't now have to put it under my weekly spreads. I don't have to put it under a daily spread. I can just go here and go, this is my tracking for 2026. And then it rinses and repeats for the next 4 quarters out of the year. Then you have your perpetual calendar, which would be good to, if you wanted to do a year at a view, you can like flag off your vacation days, doctor appointments, anniversaries, birthdays, etc. You can put down here on your perpetual calendar. And then we get into January. So here, if you wanted to do a mood board for every month, you could kind of lay out mood boards. And then you can also track down key dates for that month of January. And maybe recap down here what a key goal is, or just use this again as a tracker. If you wanted to, if you ran out of space with the quarterly ones, if you ran out of space here with the quarterly ones, feel free to use this down here. Put down what it is. There should be enough here, 31 squares, I'm thinking across. let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 2, 4. There's 6 times 4. Okay, it's a little short. But you can still, if you got a short goal, you can do it. And then there is the monthly. So it's the 2-page monthly spread. Again, put down here, use as you desire, goals, other small or maybe a short-term tracking thing that you just need to do for the month. And then they have a weekly spread. And I really like this because it's week 1. You can indicate weather up here or, key reminder. And then you've got the week. And then you've got, again, they did such a good job with this layout. Another weekly tracker, right? So this might be your food consumption, like if you're trying to turn a new leaf, which a lot of people are always trying to make adjustments at the beginning of the year, and hopefully they carry it through for the rest of the year. But let's just say you're on that diet and you need to lose that 15 pounds from the holiday. You could be sitting here going, okay, did I track my food? And then down here or over here, you could be tracking your food for the week. Just a thought. And then they have 2, 3, and then they have 3 pages where you get to recap anything that you want, which I think I'm going to be using this as my book tracker. What did I read in the month of January? And so you can now understand, I hopefully explained enough to you at the beginning setup of this, why I wanted to go with the Faded Chronicle, because I really do feel like it allows me to track every aspect of my life in one notebook. And so it goes through the month of January. You've got 4 of these. The weeks are numbered. Just right. So that's week 4. So that'll take you to the end of January. Then you've got, again, 6 pages to track down and recap however you want. And then you go into week 5, which will be the last week of January, and then it goes into February. And then you hit your February start. And it rinses and repeats. I really think that this is probably one of the most well thought out planners that I've seen in a really long time. And that's no diss to anybody else who likes to buy multiple planners. But I've been saying this for a couple of years, at least on my channel. My goal is to simplify, 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 and stop consuming less. I mean, I'm really not trying to buy a gazillion planners to track my life. And it gets to be, I feel like a job in and of itself to kind of keep track of all these planners. And you feel like you need to be filling them out and that obligation. And when you're wasting pages after pages of multiple planners over the years, it's just waste. So I'm just really trying to not do that. And so at the end, when we are in week 49, got 54 weeks in the year. So we get to the end of this, and because they give you so many pages in between the weeks and the months, there's not a lot of waste back here. If you were doing everything properly, hopefully you utilized all the blank pages, but when you do get to the end of the year, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, I think there's about 16. Okay, there's 14 pages of blank pages. And then they did a really good thing by giving you a spacing grid. So if you need to know how many lines down, which are 49 lines down, and there's 24 lines across on their grid, and half of that, they tell you kind of how to find your spacing grid. And then there's a contact list. And then the last page, which is a little bit pinched by the, so here's where I would have probably put down an extra page past this one because it's a little bit, the binding's a little bit tight here. But just your personal contact and your emergency contact information. I am so looking forward, I'm sorry. I'm so looking forward to 2026 and utilizing this planner. This is currently sold out. I don't know if Faded Chronicles is planning on issuing any more in 2026. I guess if they had a overwhelming response to people who slept on the pre-sale order and were like, oh my God, I just really want to get my hands on, they might do another print, but I will put the link to Faded Chronicles up above or down below in the description. I actually can't do links in the upper right hand corner, so I'll put it down below in my description box. So if that you want to check them out, I'll let you know. The only question I'm going to have about this is this, will this size work for me in 2026, or do I want to go with an A5 or a B6 size? Because those are the other two sizes that you can get with the Faded Chronicle. But I'm really liking this. I feel like this is very portable. Okay, now the question that I have about this is, what cover am I going to stick this in? I recently procured the Love and Travel notebook from Traveler's Notebook, and I think this is a little bit too chunky monkey for it, but I'm going to pull out the insert that it came with, and let me just see if I can fold this in. Okay, so this one will not work. It's just a little bit too thick, and I still want to put a cover on this one as well. So I'll be trying to get a TN plastic cover just to protect the outside of it from getting damaged. Let me just put this back in here. So Love and Travel does not work. So I'll just go ahead and put that back since that one's not working. Bye-bye, Love and Travel. I'll have to use you for something else, like journaling of something else. Okay, so I have from Hand Stitched Leather Tee. I bought this one years ago, and I was thinking that this might work. So let me get into this one. And I think this one's a little bit too short. So no Hand Stitched Leather Tee. This is, I think, a B6 Slim or A6 Slim size cover. Looking at that, so that one doesn't work. And towards the end of summer, I bought some stuff from Lockbee. And maybe this one. This is a pen case. Oh, sorry. I really did, like how this one, it's a pen case. This is, I was thinking that this was more of a folding thing, but this is a pen case, and this will not work either. So none of my covers will work, so I will definitely be looking for getting a plastic case. Oh wait, I've got the Hobonichi one. Let's see here. Let me just pull out all the things that I have in this one. Nope. It wraps around it nicely, and I do like the wraparound on notebooks because then it protects the pages. But nope, that's not going to work either. That's more of a weak size. All right, so I'll be looking for getting a new cover for this one that's not going to smash the pages. So I might have to buy a new cover in 2026, but until I do, it's going to be just like this. And I'm going to keep this moving until I can figure out something. But this is it. I hope you liked the video. All the thoughts and opinions are mine. They didn't give me anything. I really do think that this is going to work for me in 2026. Faded Chronicles did a really good job with communicating how they were going to ship, when they were going to ship, when you could expect your new planners for the new year. And I'm tickled pink to be able to get ready to use these. So that's all I have for this video. I hope that you liked it. Leave a thumbs up if you have comments. If you're moving to a single planner for 2026 and simplifying, let us know what you're using. I would love to hear how you plan on using yours. If you've got a link to a YouTube site, let us know in the comments below. Greatly appreciated. And until next time, take care. Bye.